What's going on, Aces? Welcome back to the channel. So, as promised, I wanted to give you guys the quick update about Atlanta food trucks. So, initially, Keith thought that the food trucks were trying to, I guess, use or maybe like even abuse, him being an influencer and coming out. But, plot twist, they were coming to support, right? So, the redemption tour really was redemption, but I'm going to let you guys hear because at the end of my last video, I went by what Keith said, thinking that people were coming out and, just, I guess, trying to profit off of him visiting, which is unfortunate because I feel like now he's gotten so much negative backlash that his first thought would be, people know that I'm coming and they are trying to manipulate the community, right? Which unfortunately has happened in the past. But I'm so happy that there was a positive twist. So I'll let you guys hear first what he mistakenly thinks is going to happen, and then I will sum it up with a happy ending. I'm so glad it turned out positively.
And that's before the event even started. So we had to move locations, and the second location is a bunch of food trucks that pulled up that I didn't know that was going to pull up. And right now I'm trying to make sure that they are on the same mission as far as giving out food. And if they're not on the same mission as far as giving out food, I want them to be very clear that they're not part of the event. They just here to be here kind of thing. Because I don't want people to be like, oh, he said we's giving away food, and then they come and they got to pay for food. Yeah, that's crazy. Yeah, that's crazy. It's the news. It's the news. It's all kind of people out here. I'm telling you, this line go for a mile long. This is less than 24 hours.
When did we post it? It was past
at like 12 last night.
I feel like it was even past that.
Probably like 1 o'clock. It's been less than 12 hours.
Wow. Okay. So you guys heard that when he pulled up, less than 12 hours later, they had the news trucks there. They had, he said mile-long lines wrapped around everywhere, which is, again, the power of the internet. I feel like a lot of people, myself included, I don't want to say minimize the power of the internet, but we don't recognize just, how far reaching, I guess, right? Because we're so used to, when you grow up in a framework of mind, you don't think that the words that I'm saying are going to hit globally. Or, like with Keith Lee and his wife, they're posting, we're coming back to Atlanta. And then 12 hours later, the news crews would show up that, all these different people would show up, miles of people would take time out of their day. You don't think that if you're not raised with it. I'm actually like really interested to see Gen Z when they get older, and or even Generation Alpha, right? Their kids, Gen Z's kids, because I'm sure that they will have a completely different mindset in regards to how they view the world. Growing up with the internet as like babies, toddlers, that always being a part of their world, as opposed to, older people like millennials or Gen X or boomers or, people that were introduced to the internet later on in life. But anyway, you guys know me. I love psychology, all that good stuff. But let me let you guys hear what Keith Lee, when he found out that the food trucks were coming to support. It's so heartwarming.
Pay for one food truck to be there because again, we personally only pay for one food truck to be there because again, I was thinking 500 people or less, so 500 plates in my eyes was more than enough. But God never makes any mistake. All these food trucks you see put up on their own fruition and their own will. At first, I was very confused because I thought they was coming to charge, and this was a free event, but they pass out food for absolutely free. God is amazing. I appreciate Atlanta. Y'all really showed up and y'all showed up. That's what this whole thing was about. Rewriting the narrative of the first time we came. An ice cream truck pulled up, a mobile barbershop pulled up, Monster pulled up, y'all pulled up. Thank you again.
Oh, look at Atlanta. Yay, y'all did good, right? Barbershop pulled up. Okay, ice cream for the kids. Y'all know we Atlanta love the kids. But in all seriousness, I am so happy that Keith Lee left Atlanta with a good taste in his mouth, right? No pun intended. But, the first time that he came, it was such a negative experience, not only for the restaurants, I believe, I want to say, I think Milk and Honey might have even gone out of business, which, again, I feel like that was more their reaction to them posting online and trying to be funny than what happened with Keith Lee. But I feel like, him coming back, doing a redemption tour, and then just being surrounded by love in the community, wanting to not only showcase their businesses, but also, just wanting to help out and be a part of a community event. I feel like there's such a need for that. And I feel like I was going to try to blame it on the pandemic, but I think the pandemic 2020 just kind of maybe reinforced a lot of disconnect that people were feeling. And I want to say even maybe afterward, because even though the pandemic was raging after George Floyd, we saw protests happen internationally. They were pushing monuments into rivers all across, the world, right? The monuments of slave owners and things like that. That was happening in the UK. We saw John Boyega and other actors and celebrities leading marches. It was a worldwide phenomenon. That's part of the reason why I feel like we have all this backlash and the erasure of a lot of DEI programs and them trying to erase Black history today, right? The pendulum swung from 2020 to completely the other way. But going back to Keith Lee in Atlanta, I want to say that I'm glad to see that people are showing up, showing out, you know what I mean? Rebuilding that community, because I feel like a lot of that is missing. A lot of those third spaces that people like coffee shops and, like park chess games, card games, things like that, where people would just go hang out. Because a lot of the malls are closing, everything is moving to the digital online space. And that's great. I love a good, digital community. I need to actually start utilizing StreamYard more so myself and start going lives and build up my own online community when I get the opportunity, because these books are kicking my butt. But I'm glad to see that people are representing their community, seeing the ice cream trucks, pull out and give free ice cream to kids. Not only is that creating a lasting memory for that child, but also the parents, they will remember that generosity and be a lot more likely, I know I would, to, go to that particular ice cream or restaurant or barbershop and become patrons. People respect and appreciate that. So shout out to Keith Lee for, one, owning up to his mistake, right? Thinking that people were trying to, clout chase and profit off of his name. He quickly found out that no, they're coming to support. He said that, him and his wife only paid for one food truck. And naturally, I mean, that would be what I would think too. If all these different food trucks would come, you wouldn't think that people were giving their time and their resources in their business for free, but they were. And so I miss that. I'm so happy to see, Atlanta redeem themselves, right? He called it a redemption tour. And I feel like that's exactly what happened. He ended up on the stage and people were clapping for him. And they wanted to show him love. And hopefully, if he does choose to go back to Atlanta, it will be a positive experience moving forward, right? Because Atlanta is an amazing city, and it's one of the few Black meccas that we have left in the U.S. I'm so thankful for the HBCUs that are there. I hope they continue to thrive. Georgia is amazing, right? They have been really under attack Fonnie Willis, and Fulton County, everybody who's trying to hold Trump and his cronies accountable for literally trying to overthrow American democracy and overthrow the 2020 election. So I'm glad that Keith Lee is shining a really positive light on Atlanta right now because they need it. And shout out to all the food trucks. That's why I wanted to picture them and highlight the different food trucks in this thumbnail, because we have, Kayla's Italian Ice, Burrito Locos, my favorite Icy, Egg Roll, and the New Wave, which is the barbershop. So if you guys are in Atlanta, I encourage all of you to go support them. Shout out to Keith Lee. Let me know your thoughts on Keith Lee's redemption tour in Atlanta. Please be sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and I will talk with you in the next one. Take care, Aces. Bye.